Ron Lauder is somebody who I had covered once before, is the president of the World Jewish Congress. What you may not know is that he's actually the son of Estee Lauder. So he is a billionaire Nepo baby. So it should come as no surprise, as Jen and I have pointed out a time or two, that AIPAC is a huge problem, but they're not the only problem.
No.
There are dozens of these pro-Israel NGOs, and one of the most powerful leaders of these NGOs is Ron Lauder, the president of the World Jewish Congress. And you want to talk about somebody who has a lot of power and a lot of influence? This man has it. And he has a few things to say about what needs to happen to protect the state of Israel.
Single foreign policy issue, Israel. And yes, we've seen this anti-Semitism before. In the late 1930s, when Hitler was rising in Germany, there was a huge effort by the Nazis to unite anti-Semitism in America. The anti-Jewish radio preacher, Father Conklin. Father Conklin was the Tucker Carlson of the 1930s.
Oh, so Tucker Carlson now is that problem. Tucker Carlson is the person who is causing such a rift and is the one who's causing violence.
Well, he's such a raging anti-Semite.
He's an anti-dentite. It's the same old talking points. And I believe Ron Lauder, I can check real quick. Ron Lauder is 81 years old. He is worth $5 billion with a B. This jackoff, Nepo baby, heir to the Estee Lauder fortune.
Do you see what it says?
Also one of the architects of 9/11. I'm not surprised. Probably very good friends with Larry Silverstein.
Had 30 million weekly listeners. That's equivalent to 100 million today. Henry Ford spread his hatred through newspapers and massive amounts of money. In 1938, Hitler unleashed Kristallnacht, and in one night, Germany went from anti-Jewish laws to murder. Hitler wanted to see the world's reaction, and when he saw there was almost none, he told his advisors 4 days later, "Now we can do whatever we want with the Jews."
Does this maudlin shit work on anybody?
Yes, the people in that room, in a very small echo chamber of people. Unfortunately, it's a lot of the people that have power and money. But it doesn't work on the general population, and it sure as shit is not working globally.
So he makes a statement that has been told 1,000 times over and has been especially pointed since October 7th. This person's a Nazi. This person sounds like Goebbels. And on we go. Well, guess what? He's got a few suggestions as to how we must deal with this problem, Jen.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
These are our friends, and we are forever grateful. Today, we're in the fight of our lives, and this is how we will fight back. First, we must use social media because that's what young people follow.
We got to get the youngsters. We got to get them on board with our hate.
So buy TikTok and shut people down like our friend James Lee, completely take away his ability to make a living there. And yeah, why do we need truth tellers? No, we need you to tell our truth. Because remember that overwoke shit from a few years back? I need to tell my truth. No, there is the truth.
Remember that? Do you remember
there
that?
There is no my truth. There is the truth. And this person is acting like an overwoke moron saying, we have to tell our truth. Our truth is the Jewish people are special and
we're
better than
victims.
everybody else. And if we have to kill you to make a point that we are, then that is acceptable discourse. Yes, he's nuts. But that doesn't mean his reign of terror is going to last much longer.
No, look at him. He's barely
He
standing,
could
man.
kill at any minute. A guy
Exactly.
like that kill at any minute.
And I must tell them that you must tell them the truth. Israel must finally get serious about public relations. If Israel can't tell its amazing story to the world, then its enemies will, and they've done it now.
That's what's so amazing. Like, they need to get better at public relations. That's all they are. They're an entire fake nation built on nothing but public relations. So that's what's so fascinating. The fact that it doesn't work anymore doesn't mean that it's because they're not better at it.
Yeah, for real. And Piano Man is absolutely correct. So, guys, if anybody still shops at Estee Lauder, like, stop shopping there.
It isn't about shopping at Estee Lauder, Peter. Estee Lauder owns so many brands that people don't even realize it. So it's kind of like Johnson & Johnson or one of those at this point. So many people are wearing what is owned by Estee Lauder, even though they're not wearing Estee Lauder. I'm just saying, it's like that's
fair.
It's bigger than that at this point.
It is.
We must expose every renegade teacher and their unions. We must expect moral courage from our political officials, not excuses. We must rebuild education around truth, not slogans and lies.
I can't agree more.
We will have to reinvent how we teach the history of the Jewish people because it's not working. Too many young people have never heard of the Holocaust. The World Jewish Congress has produced some excellent films that explain what happened. We want to show them in classrooms everywhere in the United States.
So
nobody
now,
wants to see it.
So now effectively what you're looking at is another incarnation of PragerU. That's what this nut job is preaching. We have to educate people about what we want them to know and understand. This is part of the reason, I mean, it's not the only reason why public education is dead, but it's got a lot to do with it.
But it's what they've already been doing. Like, him standing there and saying that as if that's what they need to do from this point on, as if that propaganda and brainwashing hasn't been being done. The difference is there's too many avenues and they're not able to plug all the holes anymore. So when you had network television and print media, you were able to control the holes a lot better. They can't control the holes. And
No.
that's the problem for them. And so they really don't know what to do. It isn't that their narrative necessarily was so convincing before, as much as people didn't have any alternatives.
Yeah.
And now there's so many alternatives.
Well, like I said, this is also why a lot of people need to be aware at all times how this is affecting you directly. Like, how does this actually affect the average person in the average community? I would imagine that for the 550 people that are watching, a lot of you are from a lot of different states, a lot of different parts of the country. I believe it is important that we all know exactly where our money is being spent at the state level. Keep that in mind right there. State employee pension funds used to buy high-risk bonds.
Yes. And that's so many states.
Ron Lauder made a statement that when he was talking just now about controlling the unions. Remember, a substantial portion of the billionaire Zio class, they're all Democrats. That's the dirty little secret that very few people want to talk about. So when they're basically redirecting the state pension funds, this is what's happening to your money.
Bring me all your money, give it to me right now.
Florida's the most.
First of all, Arkansas, which is in the bottom 3 poorest states in the country, along with Mississippi and West Virginia, gives $57 million in bonds to Israel. That's a lot of money.
Florida is the worst. I knew it was.
200 million.
And out in Florida, Palm Beach County is the highest in
Yes, Palm Beach County is the highest county in the country for
Yes.
single donations for local and state funds that go directly to Israel. Yes.
Correct.
Give me all your money, is that all you got?
Seattle, 100.
Give me all your money, have a place to keep it.
That's not surprising.
No.
In fact, I'm actually surprised it's that much. I figured it might have even been more than that.
No, I thought Florida had more.
It's actually not that.
Give me all your money, is that all you got?
County employee pension funds used by high-risk Israel.
Yeah.
Give me all your money, give it to
Broward.
me right now.
So that's where Jen is, $5 million.
Broward. Yeah.
So is that the county commission that does that?
yes.
Okay. So the county commission of Broward County, led by some of the biggest sleaze bags,
They're all
supporters-
Zios. They're all
Yeah.
Zios.
all supporting Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Yeah.
$5 million. $5 million could actually go a long way at the county level, believe it or not. Be very helpful. Maybe we'll build another park, Jen, for $1.5 million. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All your money,
I
give
hear
it to
you.
me right now.
That.
Holy, okay, all right. That's not a misprint. That's not a misprint.
That. So, in other words, Palm Beach invests more in Israel than the entire state of Florida does
Yeah.
by
who-
3 times.
Listen, have you seen the people who live around me in Palm Beach? They're really terrible people. That's incredible. But
Yeah.
remember, guys, what is the common theme in Palm Beach County? You have Boca Raton and you have Palm Beach. And then you have a whole bunch of other wealthy communities scattered throughout. Palm Beach Gardens, Wellington, Jupiter. You've got different parts of Lake Worth that have
Meaning is that Palm Beach County is more heavily invested in Ziohel than the entire state of Florida, which is one of the top states. So, in other words, Palm Beach County is the most invested part of this entire country in Ziohel.
Oh, yes.
Give me all your money, is that all you got? Give me all your money, have a place to keep it.
I mean, we don't agree that it's cost to taxpayers based on national debt and all that, but it is definitely in line with how much we support them in terms of how much money our states and our counties are invested in them. It's really, it's so gross.
Zoran said that he's going to divest. We'll believe it when we see it. That's one way to get yourself killed, by the way. But we'll see. We'll see if he has it in him. Because if everyone is going to stand with him, it's going to be very tough. But the state of Israel is collapsing. We all know it. And that's why they have to come out with these ridiculous. Again, it used to be that you had the puppets that would go out and sell it. Now you actually need the oligarchs to go out there and threaten people. Say, listen, I guess it's not working anymore. We pay off. Again, Ron Lauder has been used to paying off everybody forever, thinking that that would work. And he has to stand there, the decrepit old man, basically telling people, look, you're going to have to do better than this. This is not working for me. All I can say is, Ron, you are going to die knowing that everything you thought that you were in control of is no longer in your control.